practice listening to real conversations in English with people from around the world. Welcome to Conversations in English. Welcome. My name is Wendy, and today we are having a conversation with Elijah. Elijah, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me on your channel, Wendy. I am 27. I'm still in college. I'm finishing my master's right now, and I have a career in trucking. So that's a little overview of what I've got going on in my life.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, so you know that this series is just about speaking in English and having conversations. So, what topic did you pick today?
So I picked what is your favorite landscape because as someone who travels a lot, I like to visit different types of landscapes.
Excellent. So, tell us, what is your favorite type of landscape?
I really like a highly wooded, highly tree dense forest terrain where you can have elevation and you can see for miles and miles.
Okay, great. Is that a place that you live right now or a place that you visit?
The place I live in has the option of mountains, but also has the option of beaches or
Okay.
lakes.
hmm Okay, so tell me about that landscape you talked about. Why do you prefer that type of land?
I prefer that type of land because it's really tranquil. It's got a lot of isolation to it and just a secluded area where you can go to refresh your thoughts or kind of escape reality for a moment.
Great. And I've, read and listened to a lot of articles about how people are really disconnected with nature. Do you think that that's something that people need?
I absolutely believe nature is something that people need, not just for a physical well-being because it provides our oxygen, but just to have opportunity to connect with yourselves. You need a moment where you're not being inundated by the society around you.
Right. And the tech, right? Because we live in a place where there's so much tech being inputted into us, and sort of unplugging and getting back to nature is something that I have experienced and enjoyed myself. I had a student one time, and he was from Seoul, South Korea, and he was living in London. And in London, he had the opportunity to have a little plot of land and a little garden. And he said, and this was a man in his 40s, he said, I didn't realize that I was missing something I didn't even know I needed. And he found such a connection with being able to be in a space that had some greenery and a little garden in his house, and this gave him a connection, and he said that going forward he was going to find more opportunities in his life to connect with nature. So do you think people have been removed from nature? Are we still a part of it? Is it something separate from us? What do you think about that idea?
I think there's a lot of layers to it because it's so ancestral to our being and our makeup. We're a very social species, but we also were created inside of nature. And
hmm
so foundationally, we have so much nature in where we find peace and where we find connection.
hmm
And yeah, so I don't know what it would look like integrating nature into a very dense populated society. I don't know if that means that we need to disperse more. Uh, that's not practical for just the layout of our country, but I think it'd be a lot more efficient to integrate nature into the dense populations,
hmm
whether that's just greenery rooms or trying to take back from urban sprawl and
hmm
plant trees and plant greenways inside of that
hmm
such a dense concrete population.
You've shared with us a little bit about the type of landscape that you like, one that has trees and green spaces. Is there
Mhm.
any kind of landscape that you don't particularly care for, one that you don't feel really good in?
I think all of nature has something to offer. I used to be very deterred from a desert landscape, but even inside of a barren or what looks so lifeless, I found that there's so much beauty inside of it. And
Mhm,
I think nature is one of those things where as long as you stop and bring open-mindedness to the situation, you'll find something that you enjoy about it.
Great. Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much, Elijah, for having a conversation. Is there any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, and some people who live in very dense cities are going to have that opportunity to just get out and go see plants in their day-to-day lives. And I think that's where houseplants will really
hmm
make a new boom in the upcoming few years.
That's great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Wendy.
Bye-bye. That was a conversation with Elijah. So let's go into some comprehension questions with our conversation. The first one is, what is Elijah's favorite landscape? The next question is, why does he like this landscape? And the third question is, has Elijah always liked the desert? And the fourth and final question is, what does Elijah think about having houseplants inside a home? If you would like to learn more about conversations in English, head on over to Patreon, where you can hear full versions, get worksheets, and learn how you can be part of our Conversation in English community. Thanks for watching.